Hi, first graders. Today we are going to read the text I Hear with My Ears. We're actually going to listen to it today. And then we're going to do this worksheet about different sounds. We're going to be categorizing some sounds, crashing sounds, swishing sounds, and tapping sounds that were in the text. And we're going to think of our own examples of those types of sounds. But first, we're going to listen to this story because the authors, when they recorded this story in Benchmark, they put some extra sounds in. So as you're listening to this story, I want you to listen and see if you hear any additional crashing, swishing, or tapping sounds in the text.
Benchmark Education Company presents Shared Reading Contemporary Stories. Follow along as we read the book. Turn the page when you hear this sound. Now, let's read. I Hear with My Ears by Kathleen Long Bostrom. Illustrated by Monica Filippina. I have 2 ears, they're quite a sight, on the left and on the right. They fit my head so nice and tight. For me, they are the perfect height. What is the purpose of my ears? They're handier than they appear. The job they do is very clear. My ears are there to help me hear. Some sounds are very, very loud. People shouting in a crowd. Thunder crashing in a cloud. And singing when it's not allowed. Ah, la, 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 la. Other sounds are soft and sweet. Slippers swishing on my feet. Raindrops tapping on the street. And birdies singing tweet, tweet, tweet. The sounds that cheer me when I'm blue. Babies babble, giggle, coo. Playful kittens purr and mew. Mommies whisper, I love you. I'm glad my ears take up a space on either side along my face. They help my glasses stay in place. My nose assists them, just in case.
Okay, so now we are going to take a look at our activity, I Hear with My Ears. And in the book, they made 3 categories of sounds. In the book, it talked about crashing sounds, and we heard thunder. So I'm going to turn back to that page real quick, and I want you to listen to it. And as you hear that, think of what other sounds you hear that are crashing sounds like thunder.
Thunder crashing in a cloud.
What did that sound remind you of? When I think of other uses for the word crashing, and I heard the thunder, it also reminded me of big waves landing onto the beach that make a crashing sound. So I'm gonna add waves. Another sound that it reminded me of was a bowling ball knocking down a bunch of pins. That makes a crashing sound. So I'm gonna write bowling ball. Can you think of another crashing sound that you hear when you heard the sound thunder? Okay. Next, we are going to look at swishing sounds, which in the text it talked about slippers swishing. And that was one of my favorite parts that made me think of a sensory detail because I could hear those slippers on my tile floor. I have a tile floor, so I know what that sounds like. It did not have a sound in the text. So imagine, can you hear my hands? That's a swishing sound. What else have you heard that is a swishing sound? Can you think of an example? Go ahead and write an example for a swishing sound. I think of water swishing in my glass. Think of another one and add it there. I want you to try to add 2 examples to each box. Okay, and then the last one talked about raindrops. I think it gave us an example of raindrops, so let's listen to that again.
Raindrops tapping on the street. And
good. What other tapping sounds do you know? Can you hear my fingers tapping on the table? Can you hear me typing on my computer? Okay, go ahead and see if you can add another example in each of those categories. Crashing, swishing, and tapping sounds. All right, you guys, good work today. I'll see you next time.